I woke up Christmas
Let's get ready to rumble!
There's tattoos on my head. Went to FaceTime Kanye. I told him I'm his biggest fan, yeah. Got all these hoes in my DM.
Oh, here is Uwe Boll, and Gary Otto, my producer from Uwe Boll Raw, told me I should watch some midterm advertising spots, and I just watched on YouTube the Brian Kemp one where he sits with a shotgun and one young guy wants to date his daughters, and everywhere are guns in that house. Like he basically, I don't think that was shot actually in a house, that was shot in a gun shop. So, and then he says like, I'm a defender of the Second Amendment and respect and small businesses and whatsoever.
I'm Brian Kemp. This is Jake, a young man interested in one of my daughters.
Yes, sir.
Jake asked why I was running for governor. I said 1,
Cap government spending.
2,
Take a chainsaw to regulations.
3,
Make Georgia #1 for small business.
and 2 things if you're gonna date one of my daughters.
Respect,
And
a healthy appreciation for the Second Amendment, sir.
we're gonna get along just fine.
Brian Kemp for governor.
That spots, they actually show a huge problem. The huge problem is IQ. It's just like, I think they mean not bad, they mean good, but they are born assholes with a low IQ. And that is the biggest problem, basically, what people like Brian Kemp or others have. It's just they're stupid. And I think one of the reasons for it is that they're so proud to be all like veterans or whatever. I mean, if you're a veteran in US, what were you proud of? Losing the Vietnam War, going into the Vietnam War in the first place, what was a mistake? Going into the Afghanistan War or the Iraq War, what was lost and chaotic. And if you think about it also, like how much money US spends for military and how many wars they actually lost against like nobodies, you know, with no spend or whatever. You know, and then when last week Trump was all over Merkel from Germany, like telling her, you need to spend more in military. Based on what? Like based on US spends like 40% of their budget in military and gains nothing with it? Like from the 40% of the US budget going into military spend, you could cut 30% and you would have the same army, the same defense possibility. It's basically, of course, bribery, lobbyism, and theft. What the US budget in military spend is, because you see, like even Russia, China, whatever, they spend like 3% of their budget in military, 4%. You know, Germany 1.5%, and all that countries are able to defend or attack or you know, I mean, Germany is, by the way, the only country still actively with troops in Afghanistan to protect the people there. What is, I think, bullshit. But when Trump is always whiny about Germany doesn't spend anything, they stayed in Afghanistan to protect the people in the north in regards of the Taliban attacks. But overall, who gives a shit, right? I mean, naja, that is what it is. The week overall was boring, and I think there is a lot of things we have to adjust to. You know, I think the people slowly adjusting to Trump in regards of the world is not going under. We're not going in a third Third World War, and all that scandals are kind of sidetrack, as Michelle Williams said in the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's like CNN destroyed the breaking news in having only breaking news, right? But the breaking news are actually not really breaking news, and it's. I think it will be a very big downer for liberals and Democrats to finally see that. Look, what is the Stormy Daniels case? Yes, Trump was a womanizer. He fucked around. He fucked a lot of people. He grabbed a lot of pussy, right? But overall, it's somebody who wants to get paid twice. I mean, she got $125,000 to fucking Trump. That is around 120,000 more as she gets for a porn movie where she gets fucked by 5 black people in the ass and then ejaculated in her face. So the question is now, where is the attorney from her has so good reputation, whatever, but what is he actually fighting for? Trump didn't rape her. He fucked her. Then he wanted to cover her up and paid. So, and if Cohen, like his attorney, is the con man, the trickster, the fixer, yes. But you think other people, whatever Shaden Edelson or all that people don't have people like this, don't have attorneys like this, and paying their mistresses, paying their by accident kids, whatever. I mean that happens in the world of the super rich non-stop, and you know it's this kind of that is nothing where you bring a president down with. It just shows his character, but you know, Bill Clinton fucked everybody too and paid way less money because he had less money at that point. And I mean, that is the thing. And then the Russian collusion, here is what my take on it is, what I think, what will be the final end result is, yes, they met, a lot of people around Trump met Russian people to take bribes, to get paid, to make deals. Trump family got money from Russia, a lot of loans from Russia, but that was actually before he even thought running for president. So of course Trump took money where he could. Nobody in New York, no real bank would loan him money. So because he was kind of a gambler, you know, with casinos in Atlantic City and all his ventures, but he went out there and was an entrepreneur in the real way, right? He went full on in a lot of ventures he did, and then he tried to sneak out after they went bankrupt. So he is kind of course, a scumbag, but at the same time, he is also a big builder and a big entrepreneur. We cannot take that away from him. You know, that he was always a phony and a fraud is clear, but on the other hand, thousands and thousands of women loved him and like slept with him on because she really liked him. They think, a lot of people, a lot of women actually think that Trump, before he turned like 60, 65, was attractive, right? So that is all stuff where we have to stick with the truth, you know. And when he was young, he was very attractive for a lot of women, and not only because of the money. They liked his narcissistic, egoistic kind of self-confidence. So, and that is kind of, now I'm a big fan, as you know, Bill Maher, John Oliver, whatever, but at the same time, I see them hammering it on Trump every week, but the hammer gets lighter and lighter because there is really nothing but what you can do. It's just, he got elected, now they have to get through it, and they have to hopefully vote him out, you know. So, and hopefully the Democrats are not putting up a similar Hillary Clinton bribed bitch, you know, so where hopefully the Democrats make a left turn and go for the opposite what Trump did. Because a lot of things what Trump did is actually exactly what he said before. He's not like one of the lot of candidates who totally changed their opinion, changed their minds as soon as they are in office. He didn't. He said, like, I'm pro-fracking. He gave the Scott Pruitt, the asshole at the EPA. They ruined the environment. But they said that before. They said we need jobs, we give a shit about the environment, there is no global warming. That is all wrong, but they said it and they do it. They do what they said. They said we need the taxes down, they did it. We want to get rid of Obamacare. They said it and they do it. And people will suffer, people will die in the hospitals, people cannot pay the medical bills, there is no parachute for them. All that stuff was on the table and the people voted for it in that wrong illusion that they getting a little more successful on their own if Trump is in government, and in their revenge feeling to basically put that fist up the ass into Washington DC and into the ass of the politics, the career politics, who never get anything done, whatever, right? So, and small victories from Trump. I mean, when he said, like, at the Merkel press conference, when he said to move the embassy in Jerusalem is $1 billion, and then he negotiated it down to 350,000. I mean, that shows what quality the Trump Tower is. It shows like how, with what quality he built his buildings in New York City too. You don't need airplanes to fly in that buildings collapse. I mean, I think you just have to lean on the wall and the whole thing falls apart. But that is not the point. The point is that he actually is moving the embassy way faster, and that they're going whatever in a barrack. I have no clue in what building they're going for $350,000, but they move, and he saved that money, and he didn't spend that money. So is that not a success? In a way, yes. I mean, I wouldn't move the embassy at all, but who gives a shit? So and then the other things is like Kim Il-jung, North Korea, all that threatening by him. It looked like it really got the mental situation of Kim Il-jung the best. Trying to kiss the ass of a dictator who kills everybody in North Korea and who is a fat fuck, and at the same time all these people starving to death. It doesn't work the normal way. And it looks like, and I give Trump credit for it, it looks like that his way of totally unpredictable threatening nuclear bombs finally moved that guy in the right direction to think, oh fuck it, I don't want to be like a little like pile of ashes. I actually want to enjoy my life, and I actually want more money and want more happiness and want to travel and whatsoever. So instead of putting him Kim Il-jung in front of Den Haag, the war crime tribunal, he will be maybe surviving it and be a dictator, but he makes the people happier in North Korea, doing trade with South Korea, and it's not getting threatened to get destroyed. So, and here's my thing about Iran. The Iran deal, there's this thing. Now everybody, we have to keep the Iran deal. And Iran said we don't renegotiate the deal. But they will. Because they have no other choice. If your choice is like, if Trump is playing hardball, then Iran has no other choice, because they know they can get pulverized by like nukes from US any second of the thing. And the US will have full support of Israel. Did Iran build atom bombs? I don't know. And I'm all pro inspecting it, going in there and trying and keeping the Iran deal on before you negotiated a new one. To say the Iran deal is off means they can do whatever they want, and then you have the Iran situation is the same like the Kim Il-jung situation, but way more in the center of the Middle East, with access very quickly into Europe. So that is where I would say, yes, be hard against Iran, but at the same time, be aware Iran is not North Korea, and Iran has a lot of friends in the region, right? So, and if you ever throw a bomb on Tehran, you have to be aware that the terrorism worldwide will completely escalate to an unseen level. And I don't know if you want this, but coming back to the point is that Trump will not get indicted by Stormy Daniels or by the Russian collusion thing. They will have nothing against him that Putin has him in his pocket, or that Russian oligarchs who gave him money for investments in the Trump industries have kind of a contract that as soon as you're president, we tell you what to do. They don't. So I think he wants to be a Putin friend for good reasons, because the financing came from Russia. But I think also that if Russia makes the wrong moves, he will, as he did, gave sanctions against Russia the green lit. He bombs a little in Syria back and forth. So he's not like a toy Putin can totally control. I don't think so. And as I said, my prediction is in 1 year from now on, the Stormy Daniels stuff, the Robert Mueller stuff had basically for him zero consequences. Good night.
I'll be there for you. I've been searching high. I've been searching low.